Welcome to UAT Time within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us on the frequencies available on our website firstuat.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy.
And I am Olivier Vedrine. UAT Time is dedicated to bring Ukraine and Europe closer to each other by introducing the real Ukraine to the rest of the world. In
a recent attempt for citizens of Ukraine to be granted an ability of visa-free travel to Europe, the Verkhovna Rada did not pass the test. Out of 423 parliament members, only 117 voted for the needed bill. What is our next move?
Our guest today is Oleh Belokolos, an Ukrainian foreign policy expert, diplomat, member of Maidan of Foreign Affairs.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Seriously, just a few days ago, Verkhovna Rada was supposed to have voted on the on the bill, which was the demand of Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And only 117 parliament members voted for. And this was supposedly the guarantee for the Ukrainians to have a free visa, or visa-free, visa-free travel. So, what is going on?
And I can add that Jean-Claude Juncker was said to the President Poroshenko that at the end of the year we were ready to give free visa for Ukrainian people. Then what does that mean?
It's this dialogue. It's really dialogue, and it's not one-way street. The Ukrainian society expects a clear political signal from the European Union that after the revolution of dignity, Ukrainian citizens could travel to Europe, to the European Union countries without visa. At the same time, there are certain requirements from the European Union towards Ukraine, and especially in a sphere of human rights and combat corruption. So, if Ukrainian Parliament will be serious enough to pass these crucial laws and to move this process with more dedication, probably we will have this visa-free regime till the end of this year, or at the end of this year. Another option would be that this process will continue without any clear perspective. So.
Yes, but you know, Jean-Claude Juncker was really optimistic. Say we are ready for the end of this year, beginning of the next year, to have to give free visa to the Ukrainian people. And you know, it's not a good image, this vote in the parliament, Ukrainian parliament for Ukraine, and also what does that mean? Because now we have a question. The European Union is waiting for more reform, more quickly, and that's a result of what? What the European Union can understand?
It's a problem of Ukrainian politics, as usual.
Yeah.
At the crucial time, we are not reaching the goals. Ukraine never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity, mm-hmm. as some people say. So in this very important time, all MPs should understand that this is a crucial vote. And many Ukrainians expect good attendance from MPs mm-hmm. at this on Thursday, as far as I understand, and right vote. So.
Yes, but I think this vote will have a negative impact on the European Union way of thinking of Ukraine. You know?
Well, that's what my question was. Will there be consequences? Because in one way, let's say, okay, so the Ukrainians, let's say, do not have the visa-free entrance to Europe. Fine, all right. Let's say, we can live with that. But will there be other consequences, the hidden consequences that we do not see at first? You know, the message, what kind of message?
I think that will be very, as a EU expert, I am not very happy about the result of this vote. because I know the EU mentalities, and that will have a very strong effect. Or a lot of my friends working in Brussels say, okay, come on, we help Ukraine, we give to them a chance to come, and look at this vote. What they want? What they want? They want the reforms? We give money. Then we give money for what?
Yeah.
That will be the impact.
I also would like to draw attention to the other side of this issue. It's Moscow, because failure for Ukraine to receive this visa-free regime will encourage pro-Russian forces loyal to Putin inside Ukraine. They could say, look, even after the revolution of dignity, we still do not have clear European perspective. We are not welcome in the European Union, and this will serve the forces who would like to stop or block our European integration process.
I think this is not the European Union who don't want to receive Ukraine. In this vote, this is the European Parliament who say no to the free visa.
Yes, yes, it's
This
obvious.
is not because of Europe. Europe is ready. Europe is giving a lot of money with the World Bank, with the IMF. We are giving. And you know that the EU, like the IMF, if they stop to give, what will happen?
Probably we will have, Ukraine will have big financial problems.
Yeah.
That's why I believe in one thing, the pressure of Europe and IMF on a financial way to help Ukraine to go to EU. I think the pressure will help the people of Ukraine to go to EU.
You know, it seems to me that Ukraine right now looks just as it is. There is a phrase, a giant on the clay, on the legs made of clay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, a major giant, pretty much a huge country, 40+ million, with a lot of perspective. Recently, we talked about 33% of best soil in the world. But we're still shaking and unstable within even its own parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a message to Europe, and that's the message to Russia as well.
And to the people of Ukraine. And to the people of Ukraine. Look at in the street, a lot of persons are fed up. They are tired. A lot of persons, they don't know how they will pay their bill of gas at the end of winter. The old people.
Well, the increase is quite significant, and it's so. To say all of that, let's try to predict. Okay, so now we have this vote. We have some other issues going between the ministries, just as we talked about the prosecutor's office and the foreign affairs.
Ministry for Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
This letter appeared on internet, addressed, signed by a general prosecutor, addressed to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and there are some unbelievable things that this kind of, I believe, confidential correspondence appeared in internet. So,
I think this is a spy game.
Well, you know, I mean,
or a leak of information.
it's well, yeah. So what's going to happen next? You know, next week or next month? I mean, we were prior to elections. I was quite fearful about elections. I was thinking that there could be a lot of provocations and a lot of bad things happening. Well, thankfully, you know, elections took place, and without any massive, you know, riots or
Violations.
Yes, yes. I mean, I don't think they were ideal. I'm far from that. But at least there was no casualties or no major problems. But then now we have something.
Yeah, in general, they are
else.
recognized as a quite democratic, transparent process.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, totally.
so now this time we had this this vote that didn't take place. what to expect next.
You
And,
know,
then this is at the same time as we supposedly need to enjoy the peace in the East. Tell me what the information you heard.
Yeah, I have some friend in the East, as you know, some friend in the battalion, or some friend like my friend Nicolas Takusel this weekend.
Yes.
This weekend, he was in the East, in Lugansk Oblast, this weekend. And don't forget that I am the advisor for you, I am the advisor of George Tuka for you. Then I have some information. And now, we have increasing violence and combat in the East. My friend Nicolas came back today and he said, Olivier, I saw tanks go to the front. I saw a lot of soldiers. I saw a lot of persons, a lot of fire in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And the war is not over. And a lot of persons say that the war is increasing in the front. They say that. Why? You know, I'm here and I want to give to you my own advice, or maybe own analysis, like an expert. That's mean a cold analysis without emotion. We have everything. We have every disturbing things to make a big crisis in Ukraine in a few months. This is historically, if you do an historic analysis and some parallelism with other crises in the world in the history, we have the same conjuncture of crisis. Security, economy, and politics. Mm-hmm. And we are in the crossroad for Ukraine. And I think this winter will be very hot. Yeah. This is my personal analysis. On financial way, on political way, that's my personal analysis.
Oleg, what is your observation?
It's not a big secret that this activity is orchestrated from Moscow. And Moscow wants Kiev to fulfill its obligations according to so-called Minsk Accord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have those leaders of separatist Russian leaders voted and receive a legitimate status, mm-hmm. To legalize militia in eastern, in those temporary occupied territories, and to block our pro-European integration. And if temporary ceasefire is a good thing, but right now, as we heard from you, it's not a complete ceasefire. But
not only from me.
Yes, of course. And in the long-term perspective, I believe that this Minsk Accord is it has destructive potential for the future of Ukraine, because we will have political slowdown, we will have economic stagnation, every big investment will be put on hold, and we could rely only on IMF loans, which is a clear way, as we see from Greece, to clear way to economic disaster, yes. And even more problems. So we have to understand that Minsk is exhausted, mm-hmm. And we'll have to try to have another accord. But since I like the quote from Frederick II, mm-hmm. Diplomacy without arms, it's like music without instruments. Mm-hmm. Since we have to have our strong military component.
Yes.
And if we will have this, our diplomacy will have stronger voice.
Yes, I am totally agree. But I don't know if you remember, but when Poroshenko was elected, Putin said that he will do his best to don't allow Poroshenko to end his mandate at the end of 2015. Do you remember that? Putin said that he wants Poroshenko to leave the power until the end of 2015. In some newspaper, Russian newspaper, I saw that.
Okay.
Putin said, I will not allow Poroshenko to end his mandate until 2015.
What do you mean? That he wants to the
Disturb
president of
Ukraine.
Ukraine to step down?
To step down, yeah.
So new elections or what?
I don't know. He said that 1 year before, and
So Poroshenko is not going to last longer than the
yes,
end of this
that's
year?
what Putin said
Okay.
1 year ago.
Well, I mean, he said a lot of things 1 year ago, but we know that he has changed in many ways. I mean, just let alone the Crimea.
yeah.
Crimea soldiers were there were no Russian soldiers now.
But the signification of that is that he really will do his best to destroy this country, to destroy Ukraine. That's why we have to be very strong, as I said, and that's it. That's it.
But that's true. I mean, that's true. But what I'm saying is that 1 year ago there was no obvious Russian involvement in Syria. Now there is. So maybe that changes, some game setup, and
That will change nothing. But maybe you will say something
Well,
else.
seriously,
I agree with you, but we have to understand that Putin is very flexible. As former KGB officer, he's very flexible. You're absolutely right that 1 year ago there was no Syria operation, and right now Moscow is heavily involved in this new region of crisis region. And at the same time, local elections demonstrated that there is no powerful pro-Kremlin forces anymore in Ukraine. And of course, we understand that his main goal is to destabilize Ukraine. But I don't think so. I don't think that he will insist in this up to the end of this year, because there is no any pro-Russian credible ally for him in Ukraine. So it could mean that even more anti-Russian forces could come on the political arena, on political scene, and that's not a good thing for him, because many people in Ukraine don't understand why we have here Russian entities, Russian banks, why we are still trading with Russia, and it's not probably an imminent threat for Ukraine, but of course his goal is to destabilize it. It's 100%.
Yeah. What I'm quite interested is, Syria right now is much more on the news and headlines rather than Donbass.
Yeah, totally.
That's why supposedly there is a tendency to think that there is some sort of peace in Donbass, and now all the attention is drawn to Syria. In the Kyiv Post, there is an interesting article about that, but I was quite curious and interested to know that it all happened. There has not been a good solution since that Black Wednesday in August 2013, when Syrian President Bashar al-Assad war machine, by using chemical weapons, crossed the red line that U.S. President Barack Obama had warned would trigger an American military response. And at that time, Islamic State had not yet emerged, and so on, and Obama declined to intervene. So
and France was in favor
to
intervene.
To intervene.
Yeah. We were in favor.
Okay,
to
so
intervene.
now we have.
And because of Putin say, okay, stop. We will do like Bashar al-Assad promised us that he will stop with chemical weapon. Then we stopped.
Now Now, the question is, Russia is moving there with quite a significant force. Is there an attempt to draw attention from the crimes in east of Ukraine, or will it change his attention or his ability to sponsor the events in Donbass because of, say, Syria, or it's just two different actions that can go simultaneously, and you know, neither one of them will suffer?
From my perspective, there is no direct connection between what's going on in eastern Ukraine and Syria intervention. However, in a globalized world, everything is connected, and the Kremlin's potential is limited. So he could not have two more or less same military conflicts. And one of the most important lessons for Russia could be that if you would like to destabilize your neighbor, this instability could spread in your country too. So Syria tried to destabilize Lebanon for many years. Right now it's Syria in crisis itself. And as for France's position, it differs even right now from the US, and as was announced very recently, that since France has a direct terrorist threat from Syria as well, from Islamic State, France has, according to the UN Charter, all powers to make military airstrikes, even if French citizens are in danger there.
Yeah, and you know that we sent our Charles de Gaulle with some aircraft to Syria, and we will increase our bombing on Syria. Our friend president said that.
Let me get it clear, because a lot of people are confused. So supposedly there could be some bombing from France or the United States, and now there is bombing from Russia as well.
Yeah. But the target is not the same.
Yes,
are not the same.
So
the target is not the same. We have some report that Russia is doing some bombing only on the opposition of Bashar al-Assad, only on the opposition of Bashar al-Assad. And we are bombing the Islamic State. France and US, we are bombing now the Islamic State. This is a big difference.
Okay. Now we've got two more.
Russia is only a support to the army of Bashar al-Assad, only a support. We are not a support of the army of Bashar al-Assad. Okay. We are against Bashar al-Assad, and we are bombing the Islamic State.
Is there a
this is the policy of France.
Is there a prerequisites for the potential huge conflict between Russia and Syrian army and between the West?
Possibly yes, because when two superpowers are fighting on this small territory, remember Vietnam War?
Yeah.
And sometimes even experts were saying that this is the possible ground for not Cold War, but hot war.
Yeah.
Even if the U.S. officials are not in favor, I just read a statement from U.S. Secretary for Defense, who said that we don't see Russia as an enemy. However, we will defend our interests and our allies. I don't think that Obama administration wants war with Russia, but so many military power in this small region could it's always dangerous.
Yes.
And this recent incident with airplane, it's not clear yet 100% what happened, but it's a clear indication that something is going on there.
Would be probably sure to say that within this 1 or 2 weeks we will know the consequences with the plane. Yes, we know the
But
people.
I want to add
perished,
something.
but-
The Russian army is not the Soviet army. And for me, and for a lot of other experts like me, Russia is not a superpower. Russia is only a big regional power country, but not a superpower. NATO is a superpower. US is a superpower. EU is a superpower, but not Russia. Russia can only disturb, and they are disturbing very well, the Russians, all those places, Syria and Ukraine, but they are not a superpower country now.
But they're still acting as a bully in the region.
They can
and
only
a lot of-
disturb. They can only disturb, and they are doing that very well.
Yes, and a lot of people suffer.
But they
from that.
cannot send 100,000 soldiers to Syria. It's impossible. They don't have the logistics to do that.
Yeah, I agree actually with you, and it's for me it's only the matter of time when Russia will start to pay these big bills for Ukraine, for aggression against Ukraine, for annexation of Crimea, for intervention in Syria. It's a matter of time.
And I think if we had the conflict in Donbass and the conflict in Ukraine and the conflict in Syria, if we had those two things, I think we can have the same consequences than the Afghanistan conflict.
Probably yes. Maybe
All right.
maybe in an even more scale.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say that's a positive thought that we will finish our program today. So, yes, but there is a lot more to talk about, but probably next time. It was United Country UAT time by First Ukraine. Our guest was Oleh Belokolos, a Ukrainian foreign policy expert, diplomat, member of Maidan of Foreign Affairs.
Olivier Vedrine and Sergey Velichanskiy were working for you in the studio. Stay with us and we will show to you the real Ukraine.
Thank you for being with us. Have a good day and see you soon.